The province orders an audit into school security protocols.
All doors are locking properly as they should. Intercoms are working as they should.
In the wake of this week's mass shooting in Tumbler Ridge, BC. Additional help is on the way for teachers.
Definitely. Teachers need more support.
New provincial funding to address complex classrooms. And free first aid training to ensure more Calgarians can jump into action.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Camilla Di Giuseppe.
Good evening. As Canada's Prime Minister and federal party leaders prepare to visit Tumbler Ridge, BC tomorrow, Alberta's Education Minister has ordered all schools in the province to review their security measures following Tuesday's deadly mass shooting, which claimed the lives of 8 people, including students as young as 12 and a teacher at a local high school. Jordan Canagan reports.
As Alberta's neighbors to the west mourn, our province is determining how prepared schools are here should the unthinkable unfold.
I will be asking school boards to undertake an audit of their security measures to make sure that all doors are locking properly as they should, intercoms are working as they should, safety equipment is where it needs to be and updated.
Alberta will also work with school resource officers and could consider whether key codes or swipe cards should be required to access any school.
I'll also be conducting an audit of provincial standards with respect to security measures to make sure that we have adequate minimum standards for our school divisions and evaluate whether those minimum standards need to be elevated or updated.
The review coming after RCMP have responded to at least 4 school gun complaints and threats in Alberta since Tuesday. They've happened in High River, Sherwood Park, Edson, and Fort McMurray. An 18-year-old man charged with uttering threats in the latter incident. All other complaints determined to be unfounded. The tragedy in Tumbler Ridge, all too familiar for Dale Lang. His son Jason was killed in a school shooting in Tabor in 1999.
I'm really sad and unfortunate that another tragedy of this nature has happened in our country. It's a hard thing to deal with, and it's hard to understand how people get to a place where they do something so horrendously terrible.
Alberta is also offering up additional mental health and grief counseling help to BC after the unthinkable became reality. Jordan Canagan, CTV News, Calgary.
As a tragedy in BC unfolded this week, Alberta had responded by setting up a trauma unit in Grand Prairie to prepare to treat victims just in case. Elk Valley RCMP are investigating online threats made to an elementary school in Elkford, BC, just west of the Alberta boundary. As a precaution, Rocky Mountain Elementary and Elkford Secondary Schools were put into lockdown. RCMP determined the suspect was more than 1,000 kilometers from the community through cell phone pings and Facebook emergency requests. The lockdown was lifted without incident. No word on charges. An update on a school bus crash that happened yesterday on McLeod Trail. A man in his 70s is in life-threatening condition after his Toyota Corolla collided with the bus. The car was turning left in front of the bus when it happened. The bus driver, a man in his 80s, was also hurt. His condition has been upgraded to stable. There were 20 students on board the bus. They are all okay. This was one of 3 school bus crashes yesterday. Police are releasing details from their latest public safety blitz in the downtown core called Operation Order. They swept through some hot spots yesterday. 9 people were charged with 25 offenses, including drugs and weapons possession and failing to comply with court orders. One man who appeared to be overdosing was given naloxone but died. There were also over 600 proactive engagements with citizens, with 130 social agency referrals. The next blitz takes place in March. The province has announced funding for a new plan to help alleviate the strain on the most complex classrooms in Alberta. But critics say they are glaring oversights. Jacqueline Wilson reports.
Since the beginning of November, school boards have been gathering data for the province, and with the results, government made a list of highest priority classrooms that have the most complexities in them.
We now have data from more than 1,500 schools representing nearly 89,000 classrooms. This is the most comprehensive picture of Alberta's classrooms that has ever been collected, and it's the first time that data has been collected down to the classroom level.
The province identified almost 4,500 high-priority classrooms in 655 schools. But because of budget pressures, $143 million will only fund 476 schools to get complexity teams. Those are made up of one teacher and two educational assistants to help students with diverse needs. In our city, 118 teams will be deployed in the Calgary Board of Education and another 53 in the Calgary Catholic School District.
Once this phase is complete, we will implement additional solutions and allocate resources to more classrooms across the province. This will be done using a phased approach, with the most complex classrooms receiving supports first.
School boards have been put in charge of hiring the 1,400 staff, but critics say that might be tough because of ongoing labor shortages.
Talking to principals who are saying they have had applications out to get new teachers at their school that have been going unfulfilled. They're not getting the resumes. This is part and parcel. This is part of the problem of this government. They have disrespected teachers, public education for so long that people are struggling to work in the system.
Some parents in Calgary were happy to hear the news, saying it's desperately needed.
Definitely. Teachers need more support, more teachers' assistants. Yep. So kids that need the extra help can have more one-on-one.
The teachers are working so hard, and they're trying their best to give each one of my kids a great leg up, but they don't have enough.
The province hinted there will be more funding coming in the 2026 budget, which is set to be released later this month. Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
Some Alberta businesses are feeling optimistic after U.S. Congress voted in favor of getting rid of tariffs against Canada. It could be a crack in the shield in the Trump tariff fight, but Albertans are continuing to focus on other markets as well. Alicia Fieldberg reports.
These Canadian health and beauty products face steep tariffs for clients in the United States.
They ordered online, they were willing to pay the price, but then when the product arrived, it's like 3 times so what they paid. It's been really tough because we've lost our 30% of our American clients.
The founder of Alberta business, Ellie Bianca, is refreshed by a symbolic move from American lawmakers.
A little bit of that comfort. But on the other hand, I just can't trust it.
The majority of the U.S. House of Representatives, including 6 members of Trump's Republican Party, voted against tariffs on Canada.
We're seeing a hearing like that where you had a cabinet-level member actually just show such disdain, not only for the opposing party, but even members of our own party.
The president lashed out on social media, calling Canada among the worst in the world to deal with, urging support for his tariffs. A Canadian energy group in Washington for the vote has been working to convince Americans about the advantages of removing barriers.
Energy is so intertwined within Canada and the United States that people are willing to listen, at least in the ground level for sure, and take messages up to the very top.
Many, including Alberta's premier, applaud the vote to end tariffs, but it doesn't change plans to secure other markets.
This is a good sign. It'll reduce some impacts on both sides, but this isn't pushing activity further, and it's not going to increase activity anytime soon.
While this business explores Asian and African markets, it's also pushing to create more raw materials at home.
We have canola, we have flax that is grown. There's a lot of material here that we don't do the value, the extraction. We just sell it out.
Without the 2/3 majority needed to override Trump's expected veto, the tariff policy won't change. But experts think it's still positive for Canada.
It highlights to the president and to the U.S. administration that Canada has allies.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
Danielle is in with our first look at the weather. Mother Nature has been super kind to us lately, and even into the easing back into winter.
Yeah, she's given us a lot of spring-like weather in the middle of winter. And yes, it will be very wintry next week. You're going to have to shovel. You'll need the big parka, but we're going to slowly get into it. She's going to ease us into that, and she's going to let us have above freezing daytime highs for the entire long weekend. Okay, 3 degrees to kick off the day for your morning commute tomorrow, a mix of sun and cloud, and 7 degrees as our high for tomorrow. And it will get cooler and cooler and cooler, so that longer range forecast is just ahead.
Danielle, thanks so much. The inaugural Okie Chorale Film Festival celebrating Indigenous film kicks off in Calgary tomorrow. A reception and award ceremony was held tonight at the Confluence, formerly Fort Calgary. Over 3 days, it will showcase filmmakers from the Treaty 7 territory and Indigenous storytellers from across Alberta, British Columbia, Yukon, and the Northwest Territories. Those behind the film festival say they are very proud it's finally getting off the ground and are excited for the future.
Where we want to go is to actually be a part of the film community in a much more in-depth take with them. You know what I mean? Is moving forward with the bigger leagues like Calgary International Film Festival, Calgary Underground Film Festival.
Each festival evening will include screenings and panel discussions in hopes of fostering meaningful dialogue between filmmakers and audiences. The Okie Chorale Film Festival goes February 13th to 15th at the Globe Cinema. Well, just ahead, Alberta patients share their ER horror stories. Thousands of Albertans are part of an online campaign pushing for the Premier to declare a state of emergency.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
More than 8,000 Albertans are sharing what they are calling healthcare horror stories as part of a new campaign from CUPE Alberta. Experiences range from long wait times and patients sitting and lying down in hallways. The provincial government acknowledges there's work to do and is adding capacity. Tyson Fedor with more.
Elaine Bonfield is one of thousands of Albertans frustrated by the provincial healthcare system.
When you go in there, you're looking for hope.
Bonfield walked into South Health Campus 3 times in October complaining of severe chest pain. She says no investigation or pain management was given.
They told me I needed urgent scope, and I still don't have it. And that was in October. We're sitting in waiting rooms for 8 hours around other people that are, either really upset. There's violence in the waiting rooms. There's people that are vomiting beside you, children screaming. It's a very unsafe, scary environment.
Following that visit, she received a referral for a scope in December. It was deemed semi-urgent, but the wait time is between 5 and 10 months.
Those horror stories are just going to keep on going, and more people are going to have horrendous outcomes waiting in our waiting rooms.
Bonfield is participating in an online campaign launched by CUPE, which represents 44,000 employees in Alberta, including many healthcare workers. The union wants Premier Danielle Smith to declare a state of emergency on healthcare.
Every time we uncover a new problem, we solve it.
The Premier touted her government's new family doctors and a new nurse practitioner model as being a success.
There's no question more work needs to be done on the first point of access people have going into emergency room, making sure that people aren't parked in emergency treatment beds, that there are open beds so that if somebody needs to be an inpatient, that they're moved along, and that will change the experience people have.
Bonfield just wants to see more mental health support for patients and additional beds.
And I've also just lost hope at this point. I'm telling my family, we need to be healthy because I don't want to rely on the emergency systems or the healthcare system.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
February is Heart Month, and a Calgary company is offering free CPR workshops in an effort to teach life-saving lessons to as many people as possible. Kevin Fleming has more.
Hello there. Are you okay? Hello.
They all come from a variety of backgrounds, but on this day, everyone here has the same goal, and that's to learn CPR.
The most important thing is to know to know how to help, know that you can help, to understand the barriers to helping and getting past those barriers of helping.
Mark Kasha heads Calgary First Aid, and throughout the month of February, he's offering the workshops for free. He says it's a way for him to honor first responders he encountered in the middle of January. Kasha was skiing when someone needed help.
That was the first major incident for me where I had to offer somebody CPR. And decades of practice definitely jumped in. There was no fear except for getting this done as best as I could.
Robert Camus is teaching the course that will equip these students with the confidence they need when faced with an emergency situation.
For the 4 hours, we teach you all of the basic skills of first aid, everything from choking to CPR, the use of an AED machine, and how to deal with things like blood or bleeding or shock or burns, all the kinds of really common first aid things that people will experience in the home and in their work environment.
Rodika Papuk wants to make sure she's prepared if she ever comes across someone in medical distress.
It's important because working with people every day, situation can occur, and you have to interfere with save the life.
Her husband Victor worked in oil and gas, but is now retired. He's here to refresh his life-saving skills.
As I said, to save the people's life in case of emergency. Car accident, people fall down, different accident, and so on and so on.
That's the idea here. If somebody's in medical distress and they need help, you can save somebody's life.
Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
Southern Alberta's oldest town is about to get a modern upgrade. Fort Macleod is installing its first ever traffic light more than 134 years after originally founded. It will be located here along Highway 3, which is currently controlled by a stop sign. It's meant to address the increased flow of traffic with around 11,000 vehicles passing through the Highway 3 and 18th Street intersection every day. It will be a first for the town since its inception in 1892. Construction will begin in April with the new light anticipated to be operating by the end of June. Despite the record-breaking snowfall some parts of Alberta saw in December, Alberta wildfire officials say it's too early to tell how severe this year's fire risk will be.
What's here today is not going to be as important as what we see on the ground as we get into like mid to late March and into early April.
Experts say any snow that is melting now won't soak into the ground since the ground is still frozen. Wildfire season officially starts March 1st, but there have been 4 new fires since the start of the year. 282 hectares have burned, mostly in the Rocky Mountain House Forest area. The province was supposed to announce how much it plans to spend on wildfire resources for the upcoming season yesterday. That news conference was postponed due to the shooting in Tumbler Ridge. Well, Danielle's up next with her Skywatch forecast, and we're starting to feel the change already. The details next on when winter will return.
Well, we're going to hold on to daytime highs above freezing for the rest of this week. But today was the warmest of the next 10 days, and now we're starting our slow decline. So we got up to 9 in the city today, double digits for Lethbridge, and into the teens for Milk River. Milk River got to 14 today. Not bad for basically the middle of February. All right, radar and satellite. Here's the cloud cover. Here's the moisture, all following along the jet stream. That jet stream is going to shift down. So the weather pattern that we have been in for weeks is about to change, and it's going to be a significant change in our weather because of this. Here's the jet stream in the darker green here, and this is going to slump to the south. 2 major things with this. It's going to allow cooler air mass to move in and settle in. It's going to get comfy. It's going to get cold next week. The other thing is this is the storm track. So it's going to start directing all that cloud cover and moisture to southern Alberta. We're going to see some decent snowfalls. We need the moisture. You'll have to shovel next week. We're also going to get a little taste of this on Saturday, a slight taste. All right, I'll show you what I mean. For tomorrow, it's quiet. Winds should be calm, a mix of sun and cloud. Temperature still warm for tomorrow, just not quite as warm as today. Saturday, though, starting in the morning, you can see these little pops of flurries here and there, and even some mixed precipitation depending on the temperature in the morning hours. We'll get above freezing in the afternoon, just barely, but above freezing Saturday afternoon. And even in the city in the afternoon hours on Saturday, Valentine's Day, there is the potential of a little puff of flurries for us. All right, and then that clears out. So it's pretty quiet. It shouldn't be really significant, but it'll start to lead to a bigger change to come next week. So looking at your long range forecast, 7 degrees for tomorrow, a mix of sun and cloud. Winds should be calm. basically a quiet day tomorrow. Then Valentine's Day, we do have the potential for some flurries in the afternoon, nothing significant, and a high of 2. So there's that decline in temperature. 3 degrees for Sunday with mainly sunny skies. And then for Family Day, it looks like we'll still just barely, but hold on to a daytime high above freezing. You're looking at +1 with a mix of sun and cloud. Monday night, the flurries start to kick in and we get into heavier snow on Tuesday, 5 to 10 centimeters possible with a high of -9.
Danielle, thank you. The Alberta Winter Games are ready to kick off. Next, we meet a pair of local athletes headed to the games this weekend. Some Calgary bars opened early for the Canada Olympic men's hockey win. AGLC has extended liquor hours for bars wanting to open for Canada hockey games and for medal round events. Bottle Screw Bills had fans showing up for the 8:30 a.m. puck drop. Staff say they were impressed.
We really had no idea at 8 in the morning on a Thursday morning how many people were going to show up, and to see, like, I think it's like 40, 50 people in the main room, middle room of the pub right now who, I don't know if they called out of work or said, hey, I'm coming in late, but who are here watching the game and celebrating with us is really special.
Robitaille says they'll be open for the rest of the men's hockey team games no matter what. Tomorrow's game against Switzerland goes at 1 p.m. The Alberta Winter Games are set for this weekend in Lakeland County. Glenn Campbell profiles some of the figure skaters that are headed up north.
5 figure skaters from the Glencoe Club and 2 from the Crowfoot Club are getting in some last-minute work before heading to Cold Lake Bonnyville on Friday for the Alberta Winter Games. 14-year-old Amelia Meisner of the Glencoe Club is heading to her second games.
I learned it's a lot less stressful when you're with friends, and it's easier to regulate yourself when you're hanging out with all your friends and laughing and having a good time.
Meisner is the veteran. The rest of these skaters are going to the games for the very first time. 14-year-old Victoria Cho can hardly wait to experience what the games are all about.
I'm excited to represent Calgary because it's such a big city, but at the same time it's a little nerve-wracking because I want to do the best for Calgary.
15-year-old Addie Butelaar of the Glencoe Club will also make her first appearance at the games.
I'm just excited for the experience, especially with the Olympics on right now. I feel like it will be sort of like our mini little Olympics in Alberta, and I have a lot of friends going too.
Hanging out with friends and meeting new ones is part of the fun of going to the games, but you also want to do well. And who knows, maybe it's a stepping stone to one day realizing a dream to compete against the best in the world.
Oh, I would love to go to the Olympics if I could go to the Olympics. That would be so much fun.
Glenn Campbell, CTV Sports, Calgary.
The Alberta Winter Games run from February 13th to the 16th. Good luck to all. That's it for us here at CTV News at 11:30. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.